grinding axe is not a cup of tea for me. It's I prefer to do maps. It's a lot better for me. So let's have a look. So you go into your account, you go into your hideout. It'll do all that for you. Actually, for just the purposes of the video, I'll show you how it's done. So, for example, you've got your main. You go into the botting section, and now you set up your skills. For this video, for this purpose, I'll be showing you. Obviously, I'm using the Thunder build. So I'll be showing you how that works. Come on. Sorry, my computer's playing up on me today. There we go. So, obviously I use Herald of Ash, and I've got Enduring Cry, and then I've got the 2 auras, and then the Ancestral War Chief. Now, I have settings as follows, so you can have a look. I use Skill Q, it's a buff. Obviously the Herald of Ash is a buff. Skill E is a cast, as it's Enduring Cry, and also the totems are cast. So you keep those as casts, it's very explanatory. Skill R and T are auras, so you keep them as buffs as well. Escape skill, which would be your middle mouse button usually, I usually have Leap Slam. It's quite good and quite handy to have, but it doesn't really do much. You just keep it there, it's quite clever. And I have the settings as follows. I usually have it move only, then I have Leap Slam, and I have it followed by the main skill, which is Sunder. This is just how many attacks it does before the bot runs, and 1,200 milliseconds is 1 second. Every 1.2 seconds. You can set it to, let's say that's 1 second per each time it encounters, and the distance is 50. That's normal Thunder distance. If you do Cyclone build, which is a face-to-face rolling build, you'd set this to around 6 or 5. If you use Flicker, I'd say about 5 or 6 as well. It's quite handy. Now, jumping into the items, I've already gone through all this with you. I usually have these set all to uniques, and the reason is I don't want it to loot loads of rares. It's a waste of time. Have them as uniques. This setting here is very important. Pick Stone Hammer. Make sure you tick it off. It's normally ticked on the bot. If you tick it off, that way it won't collect those. It'll collect loads of gravels, otherwise, and your inventory will be packed. It's clever to have that off. Now, this is how you run maps. So what you do is you select the end map. Well, first of all, you select main, and you go to end map routine. That means it'll run maps. I usually have it auto pathfinding, and I set it to 95% cleared. It seems to clear a lot quicker for me. I'll take the auto level gems off as well. I don't want it to over level my gems, and then I won't be able to use it in my game. I've done it about 10 times now, and it's messed me up. And then once you have this set, so end game map routine, clear new instance after 95%, go into end map, hit refresh. You need to do this, it's really important, this end map bit. And this is where you select your stash. So I have it in stash number 8. You can obviously select it to where you want it to be, but I have it number 8, so select that. And also a really cool feature that's recently been added is the chaos recipe, and it would collect different chaos recipes, so make sure to select that. Now once you have everything done, you would hit play. So this is what happens. You will stick it to the right corner of your main screen, and it will automatically go to your hideout. It auto sells items. It will pick up 3 different color items for chromas. It will pick up 6 socket items for you get 7 jewels. As you can see, I've got some in my inventory as well. That's quite a lot of currency right there. Then it will go to your stash, and it will bank everything up. So make sure you've got space in your inventory. Another important little feature or key thing to keep in mind, make sure you have some identity and portal scrolls in the top left corner of your inventory in your account. That way it'll portal back, and it'll make things a lot smoother with botting. Let's just have a look. So it auto banks all that rubbish. That's done. Okay, let's have a quick look. So once that's done, it will go, if you've got maps in your inventory, it will use one of the maps. You'll stick the map in. It will activate that one automatically, and then it'll start running the maps for yourself. As it's doing this, on my Thunder build, it does the map in about, I'd say about 5 to 6 minutes per map. It fully clears it. Another little key feature to have, I usually have ignore chest. If you have ignore chest, I mean it's optional. It's usually ticked to not ignore chest, but tick it to ignore chest. If you want to speed run, you can do speed running, and this is pretty brilliant. If you want it to stop looting or speed running, you can do it for XP. Obviously you want the loot. So, but the chests, I think it bugs the bot sometimes in rare occasions. But if you have this ticked off, it'll run it really quick. As you can see, look at that. It just clears everything. And once it's cleared the map, it will remake the map. It'll do again the same thing as it did from the start. So go back, it will portal back to town, it'll sell all the stuff in your inventory that's junk, it'll bank any of the materials and currencies that you've picked up. It will also put away any uniques into your inventory, which you can then later sell by hand, obviously. And at the same time, this little feature that's been added as well, as you can see, the summary. So every time it picks something up, it shows you what you've picked up, and it will add it on. So you run it for 14 hours, you can come back and put the stats in. You know, if you've got a little calculator, you can calculate how much is everything worth. You can set that up in your Excel spreadsheet or something like that. And if you want to sell it off for profit, you obviously have that to hand as well, which is quite clever. It was, I don't know if it was brilliant. It wasn't there for, so whilst I was testing it, it was never there. Only up until yesterday it was added. So thanks to Blaze for introducing that on, as well as the chaos feature. I'd recommend using it. It's pretty brilliant as well. It collects all the loot and it stores it properly, so you can have that, and then you can get extra chaos. So as you can see, auto loots all the right things. Picks up, it doesn't pick up anything I said it not to pick up. Opens up all the strong boxes and everything else like that. Literally just wipes clean the map. So I mean, it's brilliant. I can run tier 15 maps, tier 10 to 15 maps, and it's just I think it plays better than I play it by hand. To be honest, I think I die more playing it by hand than the bot dies itself. Now, just to jump into obviously the important part. So, like I said before in the video, if the bot disconnects, and let me just run it for you. If I open up network settings and let's have a look. I would like to go into adapter settings. So this is my internet. So if I disable this right now, just to show you, and it cuts the internet off, so boom, disable. The game logs out and it will try auto log in, and it will obviously, if the internet's still down, it won't, so just leave it as it is. Now once your internet is back online, just to show you, enable, internet's connected, it will try log in for it on there. Boom, logs in, goes straight into the account. You can set what character you want it to play here, and your password. It will log in for you, and it will do everything as it did before. It will go into your hideout, it will clear your inventory, bank anything that's necessary, and then go back into the map. Or every time if you have a disconnect, it will make a new map each time. Obviously, it won't go back into the same one, but so that way it's a lot quicker, a lot more efficient. So just to cover everything, it's a completely mouseless POE bot, so you can do whatever you want on your computer whenever you're running it.